consolidate over 100 PowerPoint slides into just these 4 points, which should be very interesting to you as gamers. So, let's see. First off, let's talk about performance. So this is basically what everyone is most interested in. There's heaps of benchmarking reports that have already been out there. Here's a question for the crowd, for you guys. Who can tell me the performance difference between a GeForce GTX 1080 and a Timex?
Oh wow, what did you win? What is it? Cool.
Alright, so basically he gave a quote an answer that I was looking for. So GTX 1080 in PC gaming is faster than two 980s in SLI.
And faster than Timex.
Alright, so we talked about benchmarking reports, right? So this is an actual benchmarking report, and it lists over 10 well-known AAA titles that you're probably familiar with. And you can see that at a 2K resolution setting, between a GTX 1080 and a GTX Timex, the relative performance increases on average 25.75%. If we tweak up the settings even more and we go to 4K, you can see on average it rises at about 24.87% of relative performance increase. That's massive, guys.
So I'm just going to ask straight away, before we get to these guys, do any of you guys play any of these titles? What's your favourite one? Go! Full effect. Nice. So knowing that you'll be able to get such a performance increase, such as in these titles, how does this make you guys feel in regards to these games and other games like perhaps in the future?
Yeah, that too. But obviously coming from an esports background, like play a lot of League of Legends, which I know some of you guys are probably not a big fan of. But you know, now with the technology coming out, definitely considering something like a 4K or G-Sync monitors. You know, never really had the experience or the chance to experience that kind of, you know, gaming immersion. You know, looking back, I'd love to play some of these games again. Like Witcher 3 is not on here for some reason, but you know, a lot of the new DLCs recently came out. I'd love to play on more than 5 frames per second for that game. And yeah, something like Hitman. Essentially, like just a lot of these games, I really feel like I didn't get, you know, to experience them fully. It's definitely one I'm looking forward to.
Well, as a competitive gamer and somebody who plays professionally in CS, it's also relevant to Overwatch. The FPS performance that you can get out of these cards be a lot better, get that competitive edge and stuff. Pretty good for the competitive edge.
As a streamer instead, like obviously, you know, people watching my broadcast, they may not be able to see too much of a difference, but I still get to see the main experience at home, so I'm really excited for this technology. There's a lot of games I've played off-cast, and would like to visit the Witcher 3, as Frank says, a great one. Rise of the Tomb Raider is one I haven't played in a long time as well. I'm really looking forward to revisiting that, because that game looked amazing already, but now with the new text, it looks a lot better still.
That's one of my favourite games. I go on and on about Rise of the Tomb Raider. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. But for me personally, I'm a big fan of a game by Microsoft Game Studios. It's called Solitaire. So it looks really impressive. If you haven't tried it on the GTX 1080, it just goes whoosh. And mine's same joke, just
Alright, and also for the hot topic of VR, with the new Nvidia technology of single pass stereo and lens matte shading, GTX 1080's performance can dominate the performance of Timex 2 times over and with 3 times the efficiency. And if we will take a look at this graph here, you can see how GTX 1080 can deliver higher performance at a greater efficiency over all of the GPUs you're familiar with in the Maxwell family, from GTX 960 all the way up to GTX Timex. So, quick question, do any of you guys use Netflix? Yeah? Okay. So,
Brad, no Netflix.
I'm too busy playing games.
You stand.
Don't watch any TV. There's games to play.
Okay, well, for the people of you who do use Netflix, here's another nice feature you might not be aware of. With Pascal, you'll be able to unlock 4K streaming on your PC. Up until now, 4K streaming is actually only available on certain Android devices, and for the first time, a GPU, which is Nvidia Pascal, has met Microsoft's Play Ready 3.0 standard. It's basically a requirement that has to be fulfilled before Microsoft will allow 4K content to be played on that hardware. So it's kind of like a little bonus.
got Daredevil, Jessica Jones, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, 4K. Well, I can't help you with the internet. Speak to some politicians, but it all works.
Alright, so we
Go to
mentioned,
Pete's house.
so we mentioned VR. So next up, when we're talking about these technologies, we're going to delve a little deeper into virtual reality.
Oh yeah, VR, like you. So you guys all know about VR and you love VR and you're excited, yeah? Just check your background first. So for you guys in particular, what are your thoughts on VR in general and from your experiences so far? What kind of games would you like to play or try out perhaps in the future?
Okay, so I've used the Vive a few times now here and in a really big demo when I went to PAX East as well. And I think right now VR is really just starting to make huge leaps in technology and huge leaps in immersiveness. I've played multiple games now which I was able to just lose myself in and I really enjoy them. But imagine where we're going to be like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. It's already amazing, and I'm already a huge fan of it. I was very skeptical at first. I was like, what's this garbage? But it's a fantastic thing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly where we go down the line as well. But it's already amazing.
Agreed. Well, I tried. Well, I tried it for the first time today upstairs. Never tried it before. It was pretty good. It was like really amazing. I've never done anything like that before. I don't think anything comes close to it, to be honest. Speechless. Practically cheating or something like that. We'll see.
So yeah, so like Brad said, I don't think I had really high expectations of VR either at the start. But I got to check out the Nvidia VR showcase with Dahlia and Mark was probably there as well. And yeah, so I got to try out the Everest simulator. So it's like me climbing Mount Everest, and it was actually quite immersive, I would say. Like I didn't feel like I was on Everest, but I felt like I was achieving something. And then, and yeah, so like, I think through my experiences with Everest and the Funhouse upstairs, definitely leaning towards a more PC-based VR experience. Like, I didn't really experience any of the issues that people said, like, you know, the mobile VR, you had like motion sickness or you weren't really immersed because of some of the refresh rates and all the other technical stuff that Dahlia told me that I forgot. But yeah, so if any of you guys do get a chance to try the Funhouse VR upstairs, it's a lot of fun.
I'm going to say for me personally, I recently went to E3. Everyone knows about E3. For those that don't, yeah, but it's the Electronics Entertainment Expo. Two demos that really impressed me thoroughly. The first one was meditation VR, and I am genuinely surprised I'm saying that, but it got my heart rate down. It was very peaceful, relaxing. At the end, you're standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 100 times bigger. It was beautiful. Definitely will love it. You'll try it out. The second one, which was the exact opposite, was The Walking Dead VR. I love The Walking Dead. No one has seen this. I guarantee I'm one of the few people in the world to see this because this is an exclusive VR experience. So I'm in a real wheelchair in the real world. In the game, I'm in a wheelchair and I've got a virtual shotgun. What was interesting is that as someone was pushing me in the game, someone was pushing the wheelchair or just shaking it gently. So it was kind of a bit too much for me. So there was a lot of yelling and swearing and screaming. They've got a photo of me like, oh my goodness. So it is, yeah, really exciting. You're going to love it.
Alright, so as they mentioned already, Okay, so as they mentioned, today we brought Nvidia's VR Funhouse upstairs for you guys to try out. It is developed by Nvidia developers, and if you don't get a chance to try it today, don't worry, because very, very, very soon it will be available on Steam for free, and it will also be open source so that developers can use this technology for their own games.
So is anyone a developer here? One developer. Alright, 2, 3, 4. So you'll hopefully be able to download this and actually make something really unique and special in the future.
Yeah, so besides being just a VR game, what Nvidia VR Funhouse does is that it showcases some of the newest VR technologies, most notably Physics X. So we're going to show you a quick video of Nvidia VR Funhouse.
So really pay close attention to the physics of the game, such as the movement, shadow, particles, the hair movement, liquid flow, everything. It's all handled very realistically. Lights go down.
So here, if you pay attention to how the hair moves, how things shatter.
It's real fire. gets hot, so the controller gets hotter up. It's scary. But you can actually shoot the slime straight in the air, at the ground, at each other, across the strings. This is a good bit of fun. I don't know what this is in real life at Luna Park. I've never seen it, but hands are. This is my favourite. Love the basketball. Love getting balls in. And then of course we've got shooting. So there's quite a variety of titles. So imagine making a Luna Park being like, oh, this is good. These are swords. I thought they were drumsticks originally. But if you turn the sword sideways and then rub the balloons, it'll actually react accordingly. Yeah, that's what you're going to do with a sword. My favourite. So the other new tech is VR audio. Unfortunately, this can't be showed because it's video talking about audio. So you guys know a bit about sound, how it works. Obviously, we've had mono sound, stereo. Then we're at 5.1, 7.1. Now we have a whole new thing with Dolby Atmos. In case you're prepared to record, the sound's coming from the ceiling all around you. Game performance, fantastic stuff. But VRWorks audio for VR in particular from Nvidia allows you to actually hear the sound realistically according to where you are in the game world. So this is very important to understand how important it is for you as a game player, how immersive it's going to be for every single game you play in the future.
Right, so traditional audio is done very minimalistically. You don't actually do too much rendering to take into account the environment. But with Nvidia's VRWorks audio, what we do is the GPU can calculate for the reflections of sound off the virtual environment. It can take into account distance, direction, reflection, absorption off of different materials, so that even if you can't see anything, for example in like a horror VR or a ghost VR sort of setting, your ears can use the realistic audio cues to gather information about the environment and the sound source.
So what do you guys think about VR Funhouse? You all had a pretty good go just before. That was your first experience. What are your thoughts?
It was very fun. I think on top of like mentioning like all the physics and stuff, that was definitely something that really jumped to me. I didn't really consider the sound, the VR sound, until afterwards. Because for me, like I'll admit, I'm not too big on like the sound things. Like I usually turn everything down. But like it was like afterwards, when you guys pointed out, I was like, oh yeah, like sound it seems like a subtle thing that you don't really notice because like visuals is such a big part of your senses, right? But to me, like when I got out of it, I was like, oh, like I could see all these things moving and changing and goo or whatever you guys said. But like I could hear it really realistically as well, and I think that really is kind of the final piece in the puzzle that makes it.
What was your favourite demo out of all those that you tried?
I only got to try a few. The sword one was pretty good. Robbed the balloons quite nicely. But yeah, like all of them, like there's a pretty good range of activities that you can do, and there's actually something that I could feel like just doing for like hours and on end, even though it seems like incredibly pointless. But at least I don't have to pay like $20 to go to Luna Park to do it. So.
I was actually really surprised by the audio. I mean, audio usually makes or break a game for me, so it was really good because in Counter-Strike you have to know where your enemies and stuff like that, so it was really good in this. Also the slime minigame that you saw on the screen, if you shot it on the ground you could see a massive Nvidia logo covered in slime. It was really sick.
That slime one really freaked me out when I shot at the audio helped in this. So I shot to the sky and it ran down and I'm flinching. Because it was going to hit me in the eyes. I'm like, oh no! And it's like, wait a second, this is just VR, what am I doing? But again, immersion is such a key part of VR. If you're not properly in the experience, you end up losing a lot. And audio is a huge part. Like I have a 7.2 system at home. I'm an audio nut. Audio is very much a make or break it for me. And having this kind of technology certainly helped a lot. I was shooting around, I could hear all around me, and it made it a lot more fun and a lot more engaging, which is really important.
Well, I'm going to say something which has not been announced. This is something I want to see. So again, no one's announced this. This is just what I love about Funhouse. Imagine, again, this has not been announced. Imagine if there was something like multiplayer, and you could go to a virtual Luna Park, virtual Ghost theme park, or Tron, or Jurassic Park, and you're there with your mates, and then you can hear not only the dinosaurs or the Tron discs, whatever it is, realistically, but then the people that you're talking with. So there's a lot of possibilities thanks to this to make that experience much more immersive.
Alright, so we covered 2. I promised only 4. So we're on the 3rd one. Okay, so Pascal's 3rd most interesting tech fact is called Perspective Surround, and it's for multi-screen setups.
My turn again. Oh yeah, what PC games are you looking forward to enjoying in the future, just in general?
As I said, I really want to go back and play a lot of the games that I've missed or perhaps didn't make the most out of. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider is a big one. For me, a huge one is very much The Witcher 3. As I said, like I said, there's more DLC coming out, but I never really finished the game in the first place. And I want to go back and play it again and really just lose myself. But it's my most fun off-cast game to play. I don't play many games off-cast unless I'm really trying to, like, you know, enjoy them and not have to worry about chatting. And then Witcher 3 is a great one for that, so definitely want to visit it.
Yeah, The Witcher 3, that was a good one. That was like Project Cars and stuff like that. Yeah. Racing games were pretty cool, so.
I'm gonna go with Witcher as well, to be honest. Like, you know, obviously previously with a sort of potato rig, I didn't really get the best experience out of Witcher. I do really want to play through it again and fix a lot of the choices that I made as well, especially the romance ones. I picked both, which you shouldn't do, just a heads up. Something else, a lot of the games I really didn't get a chance to try it in like decent quality, like gone are the days where I play on like medium quality, you know what I mean? Why are you laughing at me? What are some of the games that I played? You play a lot of games, give me some
Well,
numbers.
for me, the Witcher 3. No,
Okay.
I can play The Witcher 1 first, then number 2, number 3.
You don't need a 1080 for that.
But I love my Mass Effect, the entire trilogy. I'd like to play that all over again now, especially the new one. Rise of the Tomb Raider again. I should play Tomb Raider 1, but I don't know what that experience will be like going to the very beginning, unless they make a remastered version of that. And the Hitman series.
Oh yeah, Hitman's a good one. I can't play Hitman on like, I couldn't play it on good FPS, so I just got really frustrated and killed everyone. Yeah, which is really not good, apparently.
Just for me, any car racing games. I love my Need for Speeds, I love my Forza, PC, Apex is awesome. Then we've got Forza Horizon 3. Oh yeah, the big one, someone I think said that, I heard it with the pinball. There's a Pinball FX 2 VR, it's fantastic. I wasted 2 years of my life building a real digital pinball machine, and now I'm just doing VR with that, so... Yeah, anyway, that's yes, that's a good game. I don't know what that is.
If it ever comes out. Just give us some more money and then we'll see.
Alright, so have any of you guys ever played these games or other games with 3 monitors or a multi-screen setup?
Yeah, I played Project Cars. Project had a setup at PAX with a wheel and like 3 monitors and stuff.
Okay, so what was that experience like, or why do you think gamers would be interested in a 3-monitor setup?
Well, especially with something like Project Cars, like it's going to seem a lot more immersive when you're driving with like the wider display. Like when you're driving a real car, you don't have a 24-inch display, right? So yeah, that's probably the biggest reason.
So under a 3-monitor setup, would you say that when you tried Project Cars, you were able to see 3 times as much as someone who used 1 monitor? Or did you only see maybe in between that?
I mean, like, theoretically, when you think about it, like, you've definitely seen more than 1 monitor's worth, right? Otherwise, you 2 sort of pointless monitors. But kind of out of peripheral vision, like, I could feel like I could see more than I could see on one screen, but it definitely didn't feel like I was looking at all 3 together at once.
Alright, so basically what he just said is correct. So that's why Nvidia has developed Perspective Surround. The world you see from the side monitors when you're using a 3-screen setup up till now has always been distorted. But with Nvidia's Perspective Surround, we can basically correct what's being shown on the multiple monitors, and it's going to be a big boost for gamers.
So let's take a quick look at a demo which will actually show the difference with this feature on and turned off.
Okay, so here basically, this is like an animation that I triggered, so it's not terribly exciting, but it kind of gives you an understanding of why Perspective Surround exists and why it's important. So these 3D objects in the background, that's kind of representative of your game world, and then the green box here is your PC monitor. So we're talking about multi-monitor, and then obviously when you use multi-monitors, you fold them in. Now if you notice when we fold them in, the shapes on the side actually get distorted. The rectangle here should be skinny, straight up vertical, but here it is actually elongated. And if you direct it out, you should be able to see part of the cylinder here, which does not show up on the monitor. So if we zoom in, so you guys can get a better look. So this is without Perspective Surround. Once we fold the monitors, that's what you see. It is distorted on the sides. But if we toggle Perspective Surround on, that is actually what you'll get to see. So this is basically a super big difference for gamers. Before, you get a distorted view, but now perspective surround allows the GPU to deliver a proper view of the world by creating multiple viewports, and then we project these accurate views of the world onto each monitor. Basically, we can improve immersion, improve accuracy. So without perspective surround, essentially here you get to see one monitor's worth of content. On the side, about half a monitor's each. So 0.5 plus 1 plus 0.5, that is.
2.
Yeah, so before perspective surround, you get to see about 2 monitors worth of content, but with perspective surround, you'll be able to see a full 3 monitors worth.
That deserves it. No questions till the end. Yes. See you then. My turn. Oh, you guys. So what do you guys... Wait, firstly, you guys think that's impressive, no? Come on. I hope so. So what do you guys think of this new feature and where would you like to see it implemented?
I've never had the chance to game on 3 monitors before. If I could play Counter-Strike on it, that'd be pretty good. I could probably play quite well if I see the whole map on it.
Wouldn't you see too much though?
Probably. Yeah, I can barely deal with one screen with Counter-Strike, to be honest. But yeah, going back to playing, I think a lot of atmospheric games would be really good. Games that kind of focus heavily on the environment that, I might not really pay as much attention to if I'm just focusing on the one monitor. Going back again to Witcher 3, I guess, which, it's hard to not go back to a game like that, right? Like the environment, just the ambience of everything is really great. And again, like you mentioned, project cars, probably endless possibilities that
Well, I wouldn't use it in CSGO because it's considered cheating, but use it on some other titles for sure.
I do 3-screen gaming already at home quite a bit. I've got 3 monitors and I'm running a 970 on myself at the moment and I enjoy it very much. But I think this, for me, I know you guys kind of underreacted a little bit. This is actually really, for me at least, game-breaking because I actually get to use all 3 monitors I have to the full extent. Again, with open world, heavily environmental games like The Witcher 3, we can very much make the most of those and really kind of just sit back and even if I haven't got the VR kit at home, still feel almost equally as immersed just through the ability to relax.
It's a game for me, it's made again by Microsoft.
Solitaire, yeah?
No, not Solitaire, it's Microsoft Word, Excel and PowerPoint. So
Not games.
Kidding, jeez. Project Cars for me, more than Witcher 3. Project Cars, to have that immersive experience and feel like I actually have one of these really nice cars, much better than my Kia. Yeah, that would be nice, just drive a Lamborghini down Bathurst. Yeah, be cool.
Alright, so in summary, I got a few questions back for the crowd. On average, what's the relative performance increase of GTX 1080 over Titan X?
25.
Raise hand. Okay, you.
24.9 something else.
Okay, that's pretty good. How do I throw it there?
Just throw it in the crowd.
How good's your arm?
It's a little bit too light, sorry. Okay, what's the performance difference between a GTX 1080 and a Titan X in VR?
3 times. That was me again.
You're just yelling out random things, aren't you? You'll get there, Mitch.
Alright, what are the 2 new VR Works tech that we introduced?
Multi-projection sound.
Yeah, VR audio. Right, and last one. What's the new Pascal tech called that improves multi-screen setups? It's not the one there. Sorry? Okay.
Nice. One person was paying attention.
Alright guys, so we're going to take a break and we'll come back and talk about Ansel later on. So go back and have fun.